Good morning. It's time to wake up, y'all. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterback Show. We're here weekdays on CBS Radio, YouTube Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. The Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for Southern sports talk. Good morning, Mr. Justin Waller.
Good morning. I don't know much, but I know one thing. Contrary to popular beliefs, this weekend isn't about retail sales. This is a weekend to honor and mourn our fallen heroes. That's right, our heroes.
Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I don't know much, but I know one thing. It's out, baby. It's out, Justin. Does Nashville have this out yet, even though it's printed in Nashville?
No, they do not.
It truly is ridiculous.
If you don't snap into a Slim Jim, I'm going to lose myself.
This weekend's about not only respecting our fallen heroes, but getting slammered by the pool.
Oh, shoot, I need a towel.
Oh, come on. Don't do this to me now. Work.
Are you seriously stealing my batteries?
Yeah.
So when I got to the gym, I just find out that my batteries were dead?
Yeah, and I left your Walkman on play so you'd think you did it yourself.
That's just evil.
And you're married to it.
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man.
Hey, howdy, hi. Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Armchair Quarterback Radio Show. Mac McGee sitting alongside Justin Waller. Justin, how the hell are you, sir?
Doing good, buddy. It's officially baseball season again.
Man, I'll tell you what. That game last night, first of all, the Preds have nothing to hang their head about. They played it a hell of a series. They pushed 3 games into overtime. Very well could be going to a game 7 had things gone their way. You got to be happy with what they did once they got to the playoffs this year.
They did, especially halfway through the season. I mean, it looked like there was no chance they were going to make the playoffs, and the run that they did to even get in was pretty remarkable. So, they got some much-needed W's and confidence. They got 2 of them against a very tough opponent and a nemesis that's something to tuck away in the cap of UC Saros as this team transitions fully over into his reign. So, there's some positives. It's just you look back at the what ifs and the games that got away, and game 2 just still looms as the daunting one that got away. And these last 2 overtime games, you just think, what if had you secured one of those? But hey, it's over. Carolina outplayed them, outmanned them. I honestly didn't think Nashville would make this much of a series. So I hang my head high and pretty excited about it.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna lie, it's really difficult to see out of these glasses right now. But I'm trying to commit to the bit. So let me ask you something. Now that the Preds are knocked out, do you just kind of not get as, I know you're not going to get as excited. Do you still plan on watching the majority of the NHL playoffs, or are you just kind of hunt and peck?
It'll be hunt and peck.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it really just depends on what it's going up against now. Like there's not many games that'll trump out a Braves baseball game anymore. So I kind of dive into baseball. It's really tough because the seasons overlap, and I really get, how I like my baseball. And I get in, but once it flips in the playoffs, NHL kind of reins me back in for a little bit. But now that this has been a short run, these playoffs will probably be short-lived for me for the NHL.
Are you going back to season tickets next year, or have you just decided not to do that anymore?
It just depends on the policy, what they decide to do. Well,
Gotcha.
we'll see. If everything's open and good, then quite possibly. But we'll see how they handle the arena. It seems like it's going that way, but they still haven't.
Prices were starting to make it very difficult to continue that way, because I can only imagine what season tickets at a Preds. I mean, what is that? 42 home games.
41, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, 41.
No, excuse me, 44. They've got to get you for those 3 preseason games. You got to pay for the garbage double headers that you're like, well, why?
That's how they get you.
41 didn't, get you enough revenue. How about my beer sales? I mean, can I get my tickets based off my alcohol spending limit? Because my ticket should be a lot lower.
Yeah, exactly. If my
You just want to get me in the door.
if my ticket comes with all with all the free draft beer that I could consume, now we're talking turkey.
Now they had that for a good little run, and they realized that this was the wrong market to put that in, because we put a hurting on them free beer wristbands. Let's just say Nashville realized this wasn't a good thing, and they stopped doing it.
I can't imagine that's a wise decision in Middle Tennessee to have any kind of a free beer policy.
Who was I to question it?
I mean, that is, you can get away with that in some areas of the country. Nashville's not the area. I can just tell you all that from experience. That is not the area to go. When people ask me down here, why the hell why I can put away so much damn alcohol, I'm like, you don't know where I essentially grew up at, man. It's like you either had to put up or shut up when you went to a bonfire. So the NHL playoffs, of course, last night as well, Montreal wins, so they force a game 6. And then tonight, Minnesota, Vegas. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That series just doesn't have my have my attention as much. It's fun that it's a game 7. I don't like either one of the franchises, so I think that's one of the issues. If it was a game 7 where I kind of liked one of the franchises, it'd be much different. And they're starting it at 9:00, and I'm hoping at 9:00 we're in the middle of a pitcher's duel in I always want to call it Shea Stadium, but City Field, between the Braves and the Mets. That's going to be a fun damn series. The other thing that I wanted to ask you about, this thing I did not understand this at all, because they flashed it up yesterday on the screen. I don't know. It was like around third period, about what the broadcasting situation was going to be this weekend in the NHL playoffs. And so they got the game tonight, and then the winner of that game is going to play Sunday, right? But then tomorrow they've got 2 games, and they're starting a half hour apart from each other. I did not understand that at all. Toronto and Montreal are going to be on game 6 at like 7:30 Eastern on NBC Sports Network. And then half hour later, 8:00 on NBC. So it's the same parent company, New York and Boston. And do you think that is because they figure the only way you're going to watch that Toronto-Montreal series is if you're a fan of those 2 teams living in Canada, et cetera, and that everyone's going to have their eyeballs on New York versus Boston? Is that because I just didn't understand why they couldn't play Montreal versus Toronto a little early? It's a Saturday. Like, you couldn't play it at 5:00 or whatever.
It's kind of unique. And I don't know that it's a good marketing strategy, but for someone like myself, whose team just got bounced, it's a great opportunity. I mean, I get to see a game 6 between 2 original 6 teams in the Leafs and Canadiens. So I don't have a dog in the hunt no more. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I want to see it go full 7, but you also get the American fan base of New York and Boston. You couldn't ask for a bigger market. So you're going to have U.S. and Canada both tuned in on those 2 games. And then the folks that just don't have a dog, we get to channel surf back and forth in between them. I like having the options. What's worse for me is when the NHL stretches out their all-day prime time and you have multiple games on, but they only broadcast 3, and there's 1 game stretched out, and then you've got the second game played. And these games aren't interesting, or they lackluster. You have no option to back and forth. And I think that's where a lot of hockey fans get bored with national coverage, is there's not options on at the same time. You'll have that Saturday night, and whether it's a good strategy that works or not, I think it's unique, and I think it's going to be nice to have some options during hockey with national coverage.
By the way, Tennessee baseball wise, unless these times are different, Tony and I were trying to figure this out, but anyways, supposedly Tennessee baseball is on at 11 a.m. today on SEC Network. If they beat Bama, they're going to play Florida tomorrow for the right for the SEC title game. So keep that in your cubicle, or however you're going to view today. Real quick on the scoreboard, just get people caught up to speed who didn't watch the the early show Gators and Golf with Tony every Friday at 8. In the NBA, Lakers beat Phoenix, Denver beats Portland, and Miami just gets drummed again by Milwaukee. We'll talk more about that in the next half hour. But with the Major League Baseball going on, because, man, we got to get into this because you and I have such little time nowadays to talk about this kind of stuff. The Braves are going, and damn it, Taijuan Walker's coming back from the IL. I'm like, are you serious? So the last time he saw anyone, he saw the Braves. He went 3 innings, was phenomenal. Had the injury, came out, and now he's coming back. So it's going to end up being today Taijuan Walker versus Ian Anderson. And I do like the fact that the Braves are going to skip in the rotation. So this weekend we are going to get Anderson, Fried, and Morton on Sunday.
Oh, that's Morton DeGrom.
Morton DeGrom on Sunday Night Baseball. Tomorrow it's Fried versus Peterson. So we've got a pretty good chance of winning that one. Tonight could be the big swing game in the series because you got Anderson versus Walker, and that should be a hell of a pitching duel.
I'm jacked up about this Sunday night game. Have to make it to it. I just hope we get Tampa Bay Charlie Morton.
You got the same thought I have. I'm going to be wasted at 7:00 on Sunday night.
Oh, dude. Opening of the pool at the Littles. I'll leave it at that.
What did you say?
Opening of the pool at the Littles.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all I'll say about that.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing here. The opening of the McGee's pool begins at I actually pushed it back an hour, 2:00, because I'm trying to make it to 7. But man, that's 5 hours in the sun. I'm probably going to try to behave myself a little bit and do some light beer or what do they think all those things, seltzers or something, to build my way up to the game, because hell, I'm off on Monday. We're obviously not doing a show on Monday either, and when I have no supervision, it's going to get ugly, man. My wife already told me last night right before we go to bed, she's talking to the dog and telling me about what kind of a jackass I'm going to be on Sunday night. We're still 3 days away from that when she's having the speech to the dog.
I'd make your liver cringe if I told you the weekend lineup. It's like the greatest. I mean, Woodstock ain't got anything on this. Former Friends has a 40th birthday on a Saturday. The pool opening on Sunday, and then Monday's a family one. So yeah, it's what we've been training for, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Monday, I'm probably going to be have an ice pack on my head, but I'll still have a beer reader by the pool. Yeah, it's going to be an all-out slugfest. But yeah, the Sunday night game, I mean, that's going to be incredible. And then the lineup. This series is huge. The Braves are now 2.5 back because the Mets swept the doubleheader from Colorado. I was really hoping Colorado would get one of those games. They did not. So they're 2.5 back. So in a perfect world, if they go in and sweep them, they can take first. You don't want to get swept. That's number one with the bullet. And you really need to win this series, right? Like this, they came in and took 2 or 3 of Atlanta. It's our turn. And I believe, I haven't gotten confirmation of it yet, but I believe we might see a Mr. Shane Green by this weekend. He has pitched twice this past week, pitched really well. His last outing was Wednesday, which means he would be fully ready to roll tonight in the Big Apple.
I'm excited. I hope we see it, and I hope he settles in. I hope he calms down that bullpen. I like the offense that's waking up. Riley, Swanson seem to be getting it going. Freddie's numbers are going up. You're going to need that with Ozuna being. How about that? I don't know much, but I know one thing. Ozuna and Alonso won't be playing for our fantasy teams this weekend.
Yeah, isn't that a ripper?
Hell of a fantasy trade between us there. My IL will beat your IL.
I'll trade my junk for your junk. Man, I'll tell you what, that injury, fantasy aside, that injury to Ozuna really pissed me off because he was starting to hit. And it's so weird. One of the few times that dude doesn't have a hand pad on, and he gets his finger crumpled on underneath a didn't get an under, but he got jammed back by the cleat of Devers of Boston. So he's out 5 to 6 weeks is what they're projecting. I will say this, if they can make it through this, when they come out of the All-Star break, it's going to be like getting a hell of a trade because you're going to get Inoue and Azuna back at about the same time. And shortly after that, at some point, Travis Darnaud should start making his way to the surface probably by the end of July, hopefully. So you're going to have 3 additions, but you got to, it's the problem is getting the W's until then, right? We just can't take any more injuries. Morosi from MLB Network, he made some tweet yesterday about how great the Mets are doing with you despite all their injuries. And I'm like, yeah, because they're the only damn team in Major League Baseball that has an injury, right? Jeez. I mean,
I just hope out of this and maybe over the 6 weeks after seeing him locally and the show he put on, call up Waters. Let's see the kid. You've got openings. You can move around in the outfield. Let's see what he can do.
I'll tell you who I would be. This is who. Okay, here's another thing. Michael Harris, which I know they keep saying they're not going to bring him up. Justin, he's hitting 359. He's got a 9-game hitting streak. What the hell are we waiting on him for? And then the other one, this is the one that I think might happen, would be Orlando Arcia. Remember the guy that we made the trade for the Brewers earlier in the year? It was like Sabatka and someone else over to the Brewers, and we got an infielder. That dude's ripping the cover off the ball. I think I saw where he's got like 7 or 8 home runs already this spring. This year. So they've got some options. The only thing about RC is I don't know if he can play outfield. He's shortstop, third base by trait. So that would be the thing that would hold him up. But he's 26 years old. Maybe you figure out a way to put what Heredia and NCRT in the outfield, and then you have him as bench depth. It'll be interesting to see what move they made. I kept waiting for the move last night. I was like, I want to know who the hell we're getting up, but they haven't said one thing about it. I was checking Twitter this morning, hopefully something was breaking. But man, Michael Harris, that kid's supposed to be the real deal. Chipper Jones was saying that he might be the best outfielder in our entire system, and he was referring to everyone in the entire Atlanta Braves system, including Acuna. That's a mouthful. I don't know if I believe that.
I've also have said that a lot of people, it reminds them of a young Andrew, and that's a statement right there in itself.
Yes.
Not only with his bat and the way he's ripping the cover off the ball, but he could steal singles. And apparently he's got that jump, whatever that is, that when ball flies off the bat, he hears it on the crack and just he takes a good jump. And he's one of them kids that I think will be electric when we finally get him. But I'm not putting the fork in Pache, but hey, if your number one prospect's struggling, let's give him a wake up call, send him back down, and bring up either number 2 or 3 behind him, and let's put a little pressure on him, because competition breeds competition.
Yeah, and I just don't think Pache's a very well-rounded bat. I think he was a need put in there last year because they needed the glove. And he batted okay last year. He's got so many issues when he gets up at the plate, and I'm not ready to give up on him. But I say you go to, if nothing else, you send him back down to build the stock, so that if you do need to make a major trade, it looks a lot better a guy hitting 300 in the minors as opposed to hitting 182 in the majors. Everyone's always in love with the what could be as opposed to what is.
When you get more in your batting average.
Exactly. Memorial Day weekend. What's some of your favorite foods that you're going to be hitting up this weekend?
Well, I have one in the fridge right now, brining. I like to smoke Boston butts and brisket on Memorial Day. Is that spring summer kickoff. It's cool enough here still that I like to smoke meats that day, and we're gonna do some Boston butts on Sunday, and Monday I've got a brisket planned. So got a big cookout weekend, and I really enjoy that. It's just kind of my it's turned into my hobby. You know, we worked in the restaurant business for so long. You ran a lot longer than me that kind of got burnt out on it as a job, but I still love it. It's a passion, and that's just kind of transitioned into smoking meats.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, I always like to make my homemade burgers, and I'm going to do a little different this year. This year, I'm going to put some breadcrumbs and onions in it. And then I always add some kind of a pork fat to my burger meats. So, you know, you take the burger, the ground beef, and I usually mix something, whether it's sausage or you know, ground pork or something in it, because it increases the flavor. You don't want to get too crazy with it, because if you do, you're gonna have a hard time keeping it together. You want kind of like a 75 to 25 type of ratio. But trust me, y'all, if you've never put some kind of a sausage or a you know, ground pork, you can usually find ground pork at your local Publix or whatever. It increases the flavor tenfold. And then I mean, I hope there's no allergies, because me and my wife were talking about, I was like, you know, I haven't put onions in a burger in years, so I think I'm gonna go old school with that and throw some breadcrumbs in there to try to keep it together, because my fear is I'm gonna get it out there on the grill, it's all gonna start falling apart on me. We're doing that, and then I'm gonna do we're gonna go ahead and cook off a pork butt, and then whatever the hell people don't eat on Sunday, we'll have for sandwiches on Monday. And then anytime I do pork, but I always make my own coleslaw, because if you don't have a pork sandwich with coleslaw, man, I'm sorry, but it ain't a pork sandwich. And then you got to have dogs for the kids that show up, right? You got to have the hot dogs. You can't just give them the, you know, there's always that one kid that'll show up with their nose crinkle, go, ugh. And like, are you serious right now? You don't like hamburgers? So always have the hot dog option. But if you choose a hot dog at a cookout, Justin, aren't you cheating yourself?
Depends on the hot dog. But no, yeah, pretty much. You are. Now, if it's 4th of July, I'm all in. But that's the holiday for hot dogs for me. But for the kids, yeah, you got to have an arsenal of them.
We need to have.
What I don't get is why the kids turn their noses up at brats. I'm like, ugh. Like, give me that hot dog, and I'm like,
I
kid,
think it's because they
only
just
know.
haven't seen it, or they haven't been exposed to it, right? Like
I can't get mine to eat them. I can cook them right side by side, and I'm like, this is a heck of a lot better. No, I don't want any of it. All right, fine, more for us.
Have they ever tried it, or will they just not, or will they just say no? I don't even want to try it.
Oh yeah, they're visual tasters. They have taste buds in their eyelids, so
Right. Well,
they're gonna be hella line chefs when they get older.
Most kids do, man. I think it's around the late teenage is when you either get exposed to food and you open up your mind, or you just stay down that narrow path of, you know, I'll put ketchup on my steak. You know, it's either one or the other. I remember the first time realizing that there was another way to have your steak cooked. I just started the restaurant business as a teenager, and I did not realize that, you know, anything above or anything below medium well was actually an option, because my mom would not order anything for us that wasn't medium well. It's always medium well. It's got to be medium well. I get in the business. I was like, oh, you can actually eat steaks that are not taste like someone stepped on it and squeezed all the taste out of it. Ugh.
Yeah, Dad ordered his dead. I mean, that's how he liked his steak. And so first time I had medium, mine was blown. I was like, whoa.
You're like, what? Wait, what? I had a fillet at a steakhouse.
It's not beef jerky?
Medium rare, and it blew my mind. I was like, what the hell is this? You know, it changed my life. I then wanted to learn more about food. If I'd never done that, I'd been like, yeah, steak, whatever. I'll take it or leave it. I didn't realize what the big deal was. What's your walk off for the weekend, sir?
Hey, want everybody to have a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. Want to see everybody back for the show Tuesday, and
Wednesday.
Excuse me. Yes. My point is, and what I'm getting to is, don't be idiots this weekend. Have you a damn driver or call somebody. I want to see everybody next week.
True.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Be safe.
Exactly. Do as I say, not as I do. That's what I would say, because there were years that I did some really dumb things. Yeah. Programming note, y'all. We'll be back Wednesday. because we're going to give everyone a chance to recharge their batteries because evidently it's football season. In
We got to
Florida.
have a day to check ourselves
I was
out.
so damn my walk-off reviews. I was so damn shocked to see this. I mean,
I still don't understand how you get them in Jacksonville, Florida, quicker than the place that they're printed here in Nashville. Drives me crazy. It'll be another month before they're on the shelves. What was it last year? Almost August before I got one.
I almost bought you one to send you one, but I didn't think you'd. The only other one they had was there were Oklahoma players all over it.
I can get it digitally online, what you have in your hand, but I don't know. It's just not near as fun. It's not as.
Well, let me know if you want one. The only ones I could find is the Florida version, and then the national one had Oklahoma players all over it.
Yeah, I don't want one of those Florida versions. Sorry.
Come on, man. Come on. Go on over the dark side.
I'll go to Lindy's.
All right, brother. Have a good weekend. Be safe.
Later.
Play for the love of the game, man. What's wrong with you, bro? Money should not be a thing. Bro, I'm risking my life. If I get the Rona, guess what happens with that? Like, bro, I'm not playing unless I get mine.
Big news and the big games covered in the Big Ten by the Armchair quarterbacks all year long.
Third down at about 22. As Smith drops the ball, he's got his tight end. But he's got Carter downfield, and he's gone. Michigan leads the game with a first touchdown and a bullet, a bomb to Carter, 71 yards. Now State's lead 7-3. There he goes. So long. Ohio State touchdown. That's that old 1-2 punch you take to him the first time. In his career, Lorenzo White 15 times rushed for 100 yards in a half. 5 of those this season. On 2nd and 10. Long throw to Wyson, and he's open. 6-yard line.
Big Ten football covered in the Southeast by the Armchair quarterbacks.
Hi, friend. It's your home speaking, and I need some favors. Could you turn on some of the lights in the basement? I'm scared of the dark. Also, this one is easy. Could you bundle your home and car insurance with Geico so we could save money? Last thing, just a suggestion. Could you steam clean the carpets? I need a spa day.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in socially distanced dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by our mystery sponsor, a product that is so good that they're paying us to keep anyone from associating it with this program.
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Look, you can stay here in the big leagues and play by the rules, or you can go back to the farm club in Aurora. It's your choice.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
I've been hoodwinked. I've been bamboozled. Left for dead. I've been plagued by refusals.
Good morning. Welcome back here to the Armchair Quarterbacks. How the hell are you, Mr. Matt Carr?
I'm doing good because I was not looking at the screen, and then I looked up and I wanted a Slim Jim.
Hey, I don't think a lot of people have noticed I've added this to the repertoire this year. Look at this tacky ass thing. We were getting our jabs at and you know, this is how they get you. They say the jabs are free. Well, I bought this stupid thing. You're getting our jabs. Because I was like, what the hell are you gonna do with that? I said, oh, I got plans.
That was a very good. When I turned around, that was very good. I got my shirt on. Like, you can't see what it says, but it's a shirt that all proceeds go to veterans. When you buy this type of shirt, all the proceeds go to veterans. I got it in Pensacola a couple of years ago. So
awesome!
That's my little.
So you went with the serious look, and And I went,
as did you.
and I went with jackassery. Well, I'm very serious about this weekend. It's all like Donkey Kong. We're not going to have a show Monday or Tuesday because I'm trying to let everyone kind of recharge their batteries, so to speak.
Gotcha.
So we'll be back on Wednesday. For people who watch Braves Country, I will be doing that on Monday and Tuesday because that doesn't take long and I don't have to drag anyone else into it. But I'm gonna be doing it with a hangover, man. I'm telling you right now. Sunday's gonna get ugly. Friday, Saturday is gonna be kind of like precursors. Sunday's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, Sunday. I think Sunday's our day if we're doing anything. I think the Nelsons might come over, and PJ and his family might come over. Maybe. If not, I mean, we're still going to be cooking out and be by the pool, so it's going to be a good day.
Justin just told us that I guess the Littles pool is opening up this weekend. For people who don't know what we're talking about, one of our Wilder friends, he's got a house way out in the middle of nowhere, and I guess they're getting the pool ready, and basically drunken debauchery out there as well. So you'll have it in the city, and they'll have it out in it's gonna be just stupidness. My plan is as of around 8:00 this evening, I will not be on the road the entire weekend. I'm going to be in this little area. We got the pool cleaned up. Our yard guy is ready because he normally mows on Fridays. That dude was out there like noon yesterday going, I'm getting the hell out. I'm getting out of town, man. Y'all just going to have to deal.
I will tell you this about that. What I learned from this last vacation, we were in like a golf cart community. Man, that's where it's at. Like my end game someday, wherever I move to, is going to be a golf cart community. That's awesome. You could golf cart everywhere you go. Everybody had golf carts. You can park anywhere. It was great.
They don't pop you for drinking and driving those?
They did not that time.
Exactly that time. But I will be the poster child.
with this outfit.
It'd be like that guy, I forget his name, but the guy that got popped in Murfreesboro years ago. He got his 7th or 8th DUI, and this time it was on a bicycle. And I'm like, dude, at that point, quit being an ass.
I mean, what did George Jones? I mean, you can take away my everything, but you can't take away my old John Deere.
Right, exactly. They popped him. I don't think they gave him a DUI, but this guy, they gave him a DUI because he was a regular in one of the bars that I worked in. And then I was like, what happened to him? And they said, he's in jail. I'm like, for what? They said, for drinking and driving. I was like, he hasn't had a car in 2 years. What do you get popped for? Whose car is he having? It was his bicycle. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I mean, come on. If you are drinking and driving on a bicycle, the only person you're going to hurt is yourself. Okay. So, quit being a jerk. I mean, there comes a point in time where it's like, let someone have a little bit of fun. But I will say this, that dude was a stone cold drunk, man. That he probably was swerving all in the street, and there's no telling what he actually was causing. By the way, did you see this play by the Cubs and Pirates yesterday?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I wish the hell I had the video, but they would take it down in a heartbeat because it's so new. Some of the older stuff they won't take down, but it's so new. I meant to bring it up to Justin. This is the worst baseball play I have ever seen in my life. And if y'all get a chance to see it, I'll probably share it later. The short of it is there's 2 outs. Okay. And this is the Pirates pirating. Okay. There's 2 outs in the inning. The Pirates are on defense. JAVY BAEZ is at the plate for the Cubs. There's a man on third base, but the point is there's 2 outs. A ball is ripped to third. The third baseman throws it to the first baseman. It's a little up the line, so he's not standing on first for the automatic out, right?
Right.
JAVY BAEZ stops and starts running back towards home. The first baseman chases him nonchalantly. While this is going on, the guy from third scores while the while this is going on, so the first baseman chucks the ball towards home. The guy gets underneath the slide. He's safe. BAEZ starts taking off towards first that nobody's covering.
Right.
The second baseman tries to get over there, but the ball's thrown up the line, and he ends up on second base, almost third, because the next throw is thrown to the base, and it gets away, and he almost, I swear, if that shortstop just having it standing there, Javi BAEZ was going to have an inside the park home run on a ground out to third that all the first baseman had to do was step on the damn bag, and the inning's over.
And you've seen that a lot, man. I think because a lot of players will just stop midway for first to see the first baseman paying attention. I've seen that play a lot, actually.
But this is the first time I've ever seen it actually work. Okay.
Right.
And it is one thing if there's no outs or one out, right?
Right.
Because you're trying to buy time so that the guy can score.
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Right. But let's say he chases him to first or to home and the guy scores. If he just holds on to the ball and runs back and hits first base, the inning's over. And because it was a force, that run is never going to count.
Right.
Is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And by far, when you get a chance to watch it, is the stupidest and worst play I have ever seen. And that is saying a lot in the history of Major League Baseball. I'm sure there's goofier stuff that's happened in the minors or in Little League, right? Where they're not familiar with the rules. But for that first baseman not to know that he can just take 3 steps back and tag the base and the inning's over.
Right.
It's asinine. And the funny fun thing was he was like lightly jogging towards home, like, I'm going to catch you eventually. Ha, ha, ha. And then he sees the guy about to score. So then he chucks it. And then that's when the whole thing falls apart. Like, what are you doing? I'm sure everyone in the juggler was like, really, dude? You step on first. You step on first. And maybe he didn't realize there were 2 outs. Still, stupidest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, moving on from that. Speaking of stupid things, the NBA playoffs are going on, and
are they?
Man, I was really hoping that the Suns would have a pulse, and when they won that game 1, I was really feeling upbeat about the possible, or the possibilities of a long series. But they got beat last night again by LA.
Yes.
It was never really that close. They lost by 14.
That being said, I think I've changed my final prediction because I had the Lakers and Brooklyn. I think I've changed my prediction now.
Who do you think is going to be in the West now?
I think it's going to be Utah.
Even though they lost to Memphis.
I mean, they lost to Memphis they shouldn't have. I mean, what's his name? The guy that didn't play the first game. I'm losing his name.
All right. Anyways,
he didn't play the first game. Mitchell. He didn't play the first game. He's pissed off.
Because of his they held him out and he got mad about it. Yeah, okay.
He was mad about it, and then he came back and played about 20-something minutes. I think game 2 and showed out those minutes. I think that they were the best team all year in the league. I think now that they're just primed. I think that they actually have a shot to take down the Lakers. Besides that, I'm not watching a lot of West basketball, honestly.
I'm going to try to watch the Suns Lakers game on Sunday because it's going to be coming on at a normal time. And with that being said, if it's close, it'll have my interest. I'm beginning of the game is 3:30 Eastern. I'm going to be in the pool at 3:30 Eastern. But when the game gets towards the end around 6:00, I'm probably going to have an eyeball on it. I'm really excited about the Braves Mets series this weekend. It's huge, and you're getting 3 really good pitching matchups, which normally doesn't happen. Normally, you get a dud when teams go in regular season. This weekend, it's going to be phenomenal. Anyone who's looking for some good baseball, Braves Mets Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going to be incredible baseball. But as far as outside of that, I'm going to be locked in on the Bruins Islanders game, and then the NBA, I'm kind of hunting and pecking. You know, tonight I'm interested in the Atlanta-New York series, and that's about it.
That's the only game I'll have any attention on. Like I haven't watched the Celtic game yet. I don't know if you have or not, but I've not.
No,
watched
I had it on, and like you know how I've got 3-4 devices going at once, and I've had it on to see if it was entertaining. But to say that I watched it would be a lie. It's the TV in the corner, and I just look at I use it to usually for a bottom line type of thing, see if there's any kind of breaking news.
Right.
And that damn, I can't watch that damn Brooklyn court. It's so depressing and disgusting looking. And as much as I've always hated the Lakers, it was refreshing to see the Lakers court last night. It's bright, it's lit up, there's yellow, it just jumps at you, right?
Right.
And then you get that if those two end up in the damn finals, it's going to be like literally night and day, right? It's pathetic that they thought that was something niche and cool to do to their court. It's not the color scheme either. It's the damn court. Because I've looked at it enough where it's like they grade out the court. It's
but what's funny that you say that is, and you've been saying that for 2 years or however long it's been, but I've noticed they started adding color to it a little bit. I wonder if they're trying to work the color back in because they know it's so bad. So they're adding color a little bit at a time.
I mean, a little bit, I guess, but it's not enough to keep it from being. It just feels depressing, is what you say.
I 1,000% agree with you.
When I see it, it's what I imagine living in Seattle is like, right? When people talk about how much it rains in Seattle, I imagine their court is what Seattle's skyline looks like constantly.
But I ain't talked to you since last Friday. You actually had your perfect Sunday. You got the Suns. They beat the Lakers game 1. Mickelson was in the final pairing. You probably had a good little Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I did. Thank you very much. Well, a site that I won't name because they're not sponsors, so to hell with them. But yes, I did. And by the way, that Milwaukee Miami series, that is, I mean, what a.
Yeah, that's
the question I wanted to ask you is this. So you see Miami down 0-3, and they're not even competitive in these games, right?
Right.
Does the Lakers championship last year feel even more fake now that you see this?
I keep forgetting who won last year. So yes. Like me and you didn't watch. I won some money off that series last year, but I didn't watch the second of it. I actually only turned it to the channel one night, like game 4. But I didn't watch any of it. I honestly keep forgetting who won it last year.
But they beat Miami. I don't even remember how many games it went. I don't think it went very deep. I think it was.
I think it went 5.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't watch one game. I just remember I bet on DraftKings on it and won some.
I know it was never at a point where I thought Miami could upset them because I might have watched that, right? But yeah, but I guess my point is, we've all talked about calling it a half championship or an asterisk championship, whatever you want to call it.
100%.
It feels even more fake now watching how bad Miami is up against a real team in real situations on the road. Because the one thing that was lost last year, yeah, they played in the bubble, and I'm not going to get into the whole social justice warrior thing that they did that pissed everybody off. I'm talking about the actual play of the game.
Yeah,
it was a glorified AAU tournament. Right.
And Miami has the same team. They didn't lose 4 people. They have the same starting 5.
They made the trade for Oladipo, and he's still hurt, I believe.
Yeah.
But yes, it's essentially the same team. A team, if they were valid in any stretch of the imagination, they shouldn't be down 0-3 getting stomped at home last night. And I mean, I flipped it. Well, I said flipped over. I had it on that rando TV, right? I guess I would call it rando, but anyways, I had it on rando, and I look up at one point because I was curious. I go, "Holy crap! They're down by 30." I was like, "This is pathetic," because I was waiting for the Preds game to come on, and so I was like, "My God, what a bunch of junk!" I actually watched the Florida State softball playoffs last night, which was fun.
Yeah.
But and And as long as Florida State's playing, I will get into the women's softball.
Did they beat LSU last night?
Yeah, 1-0. It was a hell of a game. That third baseman, 24, offensively and defensively, she played a hell of a game. Not to take anything away from the pitcher. The Gators play today at 5 on ESPNU, and then FSU plays again today. I don't have the time in front of me, but today it is wall to wall. I can't hardly see these damn glasses. It is it's wall to wall. FSU 7:00 on ESPN2. Okay, but it's actually getting started today at 1:00 on the Deuce, Kentucky and Alabama. But there are 8 super regionals going on right now, and they'll be up and down. I won't rattle them all off to y'all, but ESPNU, ESPN2. I think that's it. Yeah, there's a quadruple header on the Deuce and a quadruple header on the U. So
I'll definitely be watching some of that, man. Like for some reason, my oldest daughter has got into just swinging something like the form of a baseball bat. And yesterday I turned on the FSU LSU game. I was like, hey, what's this for a second? See if you like this. And she's sitting there holding this little noodle for a pool noodle. And she's like trying to turn. She actually has good form, so we'll be watching some of that this weekend. Definitely, you can get her into that.
Yeah, the FSU LSU series should be really good because LSU should beat Florida State, but Florida State is honestly more of the blue blood of softball because of the championships that they've won. But this just isn't one of their better years. But they're starting to play a little better, and
they're a 10 seed, right?
Yeah, they're a 10 seed. So this is the 7-10 series is what this is. I don't think it's seeding. I think it's ranked in the country is what.
It's okay, cool.
Because I'm looking at it right now. Florida's 4th. Georgia doesn't have a ranking at all in front of them.
Yeah, so that's probably top 25 ranking.
James Madison upset the Lady Vols. The Lady Vols were really good this year, and they upset them. So there's 3 unranked teams in the. These are the super regionals, best 2 of 3, and then you go to the
World Series,
right, which is out in Omaha. But yeah, that's been fun. If people the college baseball tournament's fun and all, the conference tournament. But honestly, if you're looking for something exciting, this is for the championships. College baseball will have their day in the sun starting next week when their tournament starts. Right now, it's conference title game, and Tony and I talked about it on the Gators and Golf show this morning. It's a little disingenuous to call it an SEC or ACC championship in baseball because you don't get the full pitching staff. Because, I mean, to think about it, if you're going to play a tournament and you have to play 5 or 6 games to win it all, your best pitchers go once, and that's it. You're done, right? So it really comes down to who's got the healthiest bullpen and what bats get hot, and that's not indicative of what's going to happen. Next weekend, you'll get a field of 64, and they'll all go 16 sites, and they'll all go into 4-team regions, and they'll play a round robin, and then they'll do super regionals, and then you get the College World Series. I guess that'll be like mid-June.
College World Series, especially when Vandy's in it, is a lot of. I mean, I watch it anyway, but when Vandy's which are mostly in it, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Have you followed them much this year?
Honestly, I haven't this year, but like I said, I get really serious about it. Kind of like the men's tournament. I get serious right around conference tournament time. Start watching that and taking some notes.
So if you want to see something with Vanderbilt, because honestly, FSU, I can't sit here and brag on them this year. Their pitching staff is just terrible. Their offense is fun, but that's it. Vanderbilt, do you remember Al Leiter?
Yeah, and his son's pitching. Yeah, okay. I know that.
Okay, so his son Jack Leiter is phenomenal, and when I say phenomenally, you'll watch him and you're like, that dude's gonna be in the majors. And what's that?
I think he threw a no-hitter at some point this year.
Yeah, but those are pretty common in college baseball, so I don't, it is what it is. That kid Rocker, who's realistically has more talent, but I'm telling you, Leiter's more polished. I mean, they are phenomenal. And I'll be interested to see what Vandy can do deep in the tournament. Florida's got a pretty good team as well, but there's some other teams out west that people haven't had the opportunity to see yet that are really, really good.
I think Vandy wins it all again this year, and that'll be a fun little run for them. Because, like I said, I remember watching Rocker 2 years ago or whenever it was. The kid's a beast, man.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's biggest problem is their number 3 pitcher's not so good. So when they get to the World Series, it's how they're going to be able to try to manipulate that. Because once again, to win the College World Series, you need good offense, which Vandy does not realistically have. They have an okay offense. And you need a very deep pitching staff, because a guy will pitch on a Friday or Saturday and then you won't see him again. And what you're trying to do is get the hell out of it and get yourself seeded into the championship best 2 of 3. If you can do that with your pitching staff intact, then Vandy's got a big advantage. But getting to that point is going to be difficult for Vanderbilt. There's a couple other teams that I got my eye on, but we'll talk about that down the road. As far as putting a bow on the NBA playoffs thing, it's pretty much the Knicks series. And then if the Suns can make the Lakers, Suns have to win Sunday for it to become really interesting, right? I still think Portland's got a chance. That Jamal Murray injury to Denver, if he doesn't get injured, I think they've got a hell of a chance. But
they're still playing well, man.
They are.
They're up 2-1 right now as well. But I think the Jazz Memphis series and the Atlanta New York series are my 2 series I followed closely this time. But I'm rooting for Denver, man. That's a fun little team to watch, actually, even without Murray.
I'll tell you someone else who's playing out of his mind and is basically showing up his opponent tonight's game. Luka Doncic.
Oh yeah, that's insane.
He's out playing Kawhi Leonard. It's not even close.
I've not watched one of those games yet, but I know it's 2-0, and all the headlines are can the Clippers start Luka, and it's going back to Dallas tonight. That would be insane if they got swept. I would love that.
I am pulling for Dallas. It's hard for me to do that because Mark Cuban as a person just isn't a very good person. But I like the players on Dallas. So I'm trying to separate it, right? But man, I'll tell you what, they lose, they get swept. You got to bust the Clippers up, and Kawhi's a free agent if he wants to be at the end of this year.
Right.
I think he's going to bolt. I don't know where he'll go, New York Knicks, but he could pick anywhere he wanted to, New York Knicks, and he could be the toast of the Big Apple, New York Knicks.
I would. You would welcome him with open arms in Boston. I know I would.
Oh yeah, but could Danny Ainge is going to be trying to acquire second-round draft picks instead of focusing on getting a good player.
Moving on, I know.
We all know how that's going to go. All right, it's time to turn back time and get the hell out of here on another edition of the Armchair Quarterbacks. Once again, just a reminder, we won't be here Monday or Tuesday. Going to take an extra long weekend because we're going to hit this. We're going to hit the summer running. We're going to be getting into our football breakdowns. We've done it a little bit so far. We're going to be getting into football predictions, and my goal is to get through the entire NFL and most of the Power 5 teams with predictions. And I gotta sit one of the days we're just off on Tuesday. I gotta sit down and draw that out, and how the hell we're gonna do that. So stupid math. All right. I really should have paid attention to that one class. All right, it's time to turn back time. If I can freaking find the man, I'll tell you, I can't see nothing if you these glasses are darker than you would
Look
think.
worse, the glasses or the wrestling mask?
Mask, because the mask I couldn't breathe. Breathing my own breath was about to throw up. All right. And if memory serves me correct, I think I drank heavily the night before, so I had like booze breath. No amount of Oragel or Listerine was going to get rid of that. Okay. Here's the button. All right, if I can read this, I'm gonna have to go granny glasses here. On this date in 1957, Walter O'Malley and Stoneham are given permission by the National League to negotiate with cities on the West Coast. The Dodgers and Giants' new destinations will be known by October 1st, tearing the city of New York and its long history of baseball apart. That's this date on 1957, breaking the hearts of millions. Also on this date in 2003, since it is the hockey playoffs, one of my favorite players of all time, Patrick Waugh, announces his retirement from the National Hockey League. If y'all never watched Patrick Waugh play, it was phenomenal hockey, and I'll never forget the fight between him and the Detroit Red Wings goalie. When you get a goalie fight, it's on. Like you don't get them much.
It's so dramatic. The build
drop the pads and go, let's go. And they got quite a ways to get to each other.
Yeah. Well, the build-up's the best part. It's like a slow motion train wreck.
Patrick Waugh, Avalanche, Red Wings fight. Look it up on YouTube. It is phenomenal. Birthdays. I mean, wait till after the damn show. Happy birthday to, I lost it. Here he is, the logo. He's older than I thought he was. That's why I couldn't find it. Wow. Jerry West, the logo. How 83 years old today?
That's what I was guessing. I was guessing 83. Good job, me.
Is that because you had it pulled up faster than I did?
No, I was just trying to do some math in my head.
Yeah, the logo, for people who don't know it, no matter what they try to tell you, Jerry West is the NBA logo. If it hadn't already been taken by Nike, I think they would have changed that NBA logo to the Jumpman a long time ago. But the money they would have had to pay for that would have been ridiculous. A happy birthday, 14-time NBA All-Star. I think everyone always remembers him as a great GM and executive. The guy was one of the best NBA players to ever lace him up. And the one thing I didn't know about him, he's from West Virginia. How the hell did he learn how to play basketball in West Virginia in the 1940s? That's some Hoosier stuff there. What's your walk-off for the day, sir?
My work's a half a day today, so I'm here for a little bit. Just gonna enjoy the long weekend. Hopefully have some friends coming over this weekend, get some good, grill some good food. Steve, hopefully you can smoke some good food, be in the pool. It's supposed to be like 68 degrees tomorrow. So we're gonna be hitting up hard on Sunday. So, and watch some women's softball, get my daughter into it, man. She seemed like she's interested. So I'll watch it with her.
It's going to be 68 degrees.
The high tomorrow.
What's it supposed to be on the weekend? A Sunday. I'm sorry.
I think Sundays in the mid 70s or back to the 80s.
You ain't getting in the pool, dude.
My pool last night was 82 degrees.
Oh, it's heated. Okay.
No, it's been hot up here all week long. It pulls 82 degrees right now.
Is it above ground or underground?
Above ground.
You might have a shot. Ours is in ground, and it takes forever to. I mean, it's been pretty warm here the last several days. I still got in yesterday. I mean, it's a little bit of a chill, man. Y'all probably can't tell because all this junk that I got on, but I got quite a bit of sun yesterday. But I mean, it's also, we're pretty convinced that our pool sits on a natural spring, so it stays pretty cool in general. But man,
actually, I take it back. The high tomorrow is 60, and then Sunday the high is 72, and then Monday it's high is 81. So Monday,
you're really gonna be swimming. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll be doing some grilling and drinking.
Yeah, exactly. If you end up in the water this weekend, it's going to be by accident. It's going to be fun. Whoopsie. All right, brother. Have a great weekend. say hi to everyone. Hope you and the Nelsons have a great time. And I got to get with you on the particulars, by the way, of that draft for the live draft, the NFL draft.
Also, that being said, Bobby wants to be in one of our leagues.
Okay, heard.
All right, cool, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Later. See y'all Wednesday.
We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on these CBS Sports affiliates and catching the show on YouTube Live. We're here weekdays. Find Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live today. Please subscribe and share and take us everywhere you go. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for Southern sports talk, live from the First Coast.
Gonna get another cigarette, please.